Once again to another part of Gran Turismo. So we are doing an high intensity race. As you guys know, if you guys have been watching this series, these are highly modified cars that I maxed out in my garage. They have the highest settings possible. And so this will be on the Nordschleife at the Nürburgring. And it'll be 15 laps. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your comment as usual, so I know what you guys think. And as you're coming in, also don't forget to like the video. All right, so we're gonna get started here in just a few minutes. You guys just some time to come on in. So I need you guys to feedback on the track, on the cars. And of course on my driving. all these cars have been highly modified to max the current max of which the game can max them out, and your input is welcome. So it definitely takes a lot to be able to maintain the car at such high speed. There's also fuel consumption and tire damage turned on, which means all the cars are going to have to be making pit stops for gas and tire change. I'm currently, I have race tires, but these are race hard tires. See, now it's somewhat of an endurance race. 15 laps is this is a large track, so it's going to take some time. So I may be making stops once or twice. This car should be able to carry me at least 5 to 6 laps before I need to go to the pit stop. Most of the other cars will do the same, but obviously AI, there's always one or two cars that just keeps going into the extra laps without having to stop. So that means I'm going to have to put in a lot of driving work here. And see, now all these cars are highly modified. That means I'm going to have to be driving to the best of my ability. These are high intensified cars. They have been modified to the max that the game currently has to offer. And here we're going to get started in just a few more seconds. I'm just giving you guys some time to come on in. Your comments are welcome. I'd like to know what you guys think based on my driving, the track that I'm currently driving, and the cars. As you guys come on in, don't forget to like the video. That helps this channel a lot. It helps me a lot. That the algorithm knows that this is something that you like and want to see more of. I also have a poll in the chat as well for you guys to leave your comment there as well. All right, 30 more seconds. We're going to go ahead and get started, jump right into it. Once again, don't forget to give the video a like as you're coming in and leave your comments as well. All right, let's get started. what you'll notice as I'm driving is, for the most part, throughout the entirety of the race, it's going to be a very close race between all the cars. Every car in this race is clocking over 200 miles per hour. With very limited lag. You see that yellow tag coming on the screen? It's a car that just went off the road. So if you pass the car, then you're gonna get they're basically gonna get a timeout or a penalty. So this live videos, the replay of the entirety of the race is going to be included as well. So you'll be able to see the race from a different perspective. And you'll actually be able to get a good look at all the cars. Let me know which one of the cars you guys think looks the best. Alright, on the back stretch, first lap.
me know what you guys think of my driving skill level, and let me know if you've played this game before and where your driving skill level is at currently. So that car right there in front of me, that's a WRX Subaru. But that is not a normal Subaru. It has been engine swapped and it's clocking over 220 easy. The same for every other car in this race. Just listen to that sound. Not just my car, but that Subaru that we just passed. What a lovely whistling sound. Coming up on the two first safety cars, it's a BMW. The other one looks like it's the AMG Mercedes-Benz. But just as every other car in this race, it's been fully modified, clocking over 200 with very limited amount of lag. As the time progresses throughout the game, and the lights starting to come on in the car, once it gets into the evening time, you'll start noticing the flash of fire coming from the exhaust. Not just my car, but all the cars. You can't really see it that much because it's daytime. And I just love the time progression that you also have in this game as well. Coming up on these two safety cars. And here is the third one. There should be at least 4 of them in there. This is the R35 GTR safety car. Has a very nice sound as well. That Nismo engine that's in it. Very fast car, clocking over 220 with ease. Very little lag. Listen to that sound, and it looks good too. But it ultimately comes down to all this race is the driving skills, because all these cars are highly modified. See that? They're right there. Look at those cars right there. Highly modified car, guys. Every single car in this race is clocking over 200. Now this race is one of those races where it's just a close race. All the cars are clocking over 200 and you just have to drive the best you can. On the replay, you'll be able to see just a little bit more clearly. Look at that safety car right there. It is a four-wheel drive car, so it sits right on the track. And based on the settings that that the car currently has, you can use that car to win the entire thing. And that's not even the car that's in the first place. Just look at the map, those cars are out there. As you can see, the weather changes or the time of the day is changing, so once it gets to even time, you'll be able to see a lot more fire blasts coming from those tailpipes. And every other single car that's in this race too. That Nismo engine that car has it's gnarly. Alright, coming up on the fourth position car. Can't see fully yet which car it is, but we'll catch up on it in just a few minutes. Looks like it's the other safety car, which is another GTR Nismo. Well, not the Nismo, the GTR 17, I think that one is. But it's been equipped with the Nismo engine swap. So you might as well can call it Nismo. The only thing that's different with this one are the lights, the color of the lights that are on it. There's one behind me and there's one currently in front of me. Both are fully modified. Which car is that behind me coming up? Is that the Ford GT? If that's a Ford GT, that would make sense. That car is clocking over 260 with very little lag. you guys like the way I drive, leave a thumbs up on the video. And leave a comment as well. Let me know what you guys think. Especially if you're familiar with the Gran Turismo driving series. Let me know what you guys think. Every single car in this game is clocking over 200 miles per hour and has been highly modified. Oh, look at that. They're running off the track over there. There are still 3 cars in front. Look at that. They're back already. They just went off the track. Listen to that sound of the engine. That's the Mitsubishi GTO twin turbo behind me, the MO version, with those lights that flips up. It's a 92, that car, which has been highly modified. It has a white body on it. Wider tires, more grip. And just like every other car in the race, it has a beautiful engine swap. The small flames that you see right now, they'll be a lot more bigger once it gets to the evening part of the race. Looks like the car in the first position is already making a stop, a pit stop. He's at a 20% fuel. That gives us a little time to catch back up, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to be there long. One already passed, which has a stop, and one is at 4%. Look at this car. See what I tell you? Every single car in this race is clocking over 200. It's right there. Alright, we're coming up on these other 3 cars. See if we could get into a good position here. Alright, 2 that made a pit stop is already out. Which leaves 1. He's at about 50% gas currently. Oh, he just pulled out already at 50%, and it's the Porsche too. See if we can catch these cars. look at him go. Oh! See that? The Viper GTR. The GTS all. Alright, looks like my daylight running lights are on. Try to see if I can go another lap before I do a pit stop. One car that stopped and filled up, its gas tank back to 100% is still in there, is still up there in the first place. Well, not the first currently, the second place, because there's 3 cars in front of me. Which means by the time I stop, fill up, and change tires, that car is still gonna be up there. And as you can see, the weather is changing a bit. It's now a little bit more misty and cloudy. Well, partly cloudy. You know, that Viper just passed me and it's already gone. Look at it going. I'm at a 1.2% on fuel currently. May have to make a pit stop here. I could turn the power down on the car just a little bit just to preserve the the fuel consumption, but all the cars are highly modified, so it doesn't make sense to turn the power down on the car. I'll make a pit stop, fill up, change the tires, and get back in there. Alright, we have the car that's in the first position that's making a stop. By the time you get there, you should probably be pulling out. Yep, there is the marker on the screen. I'm on a 0.9, which means I'm gonna have to make a stop here. I think this dog viper should be making a stop too. Yep, he is. Change the tire. As you can see, guys, this is a very intense race. You have to be focused in order just to stay on the track. All the cars, or majority of the cars, pretty much has to make a stop at this point. 5 laps in, so that means you're gonna have to make 2 more pit stops pretty much, or 1 more pit stop. Depending on my position, by the time it reaches closer to 15, I may tone the power down on the car, try to go just a little bit longer on the gas. All right. Whoa! You guys see that? That GTR just run me off the road. Alright, let's get back in there. Got a fresh change of tire and 100% on fuel. Got a few cars that passed me, so gotta try to get back up there. I just love the lights on that car. By the time this gets to the replay, you'll see how fast these cars are going. So it's for sure gonna take some time to get back up to the 3rd position. I think that's where I went to. There's one car that stopped early, filled up 100% and kept going. Nope, none of the cars had passed that car. Alright, KTM was in the 4th position. We'll take that. Getting back up there, guys. I think it should be that Porsche that should still be in the 3rd position, or maybe another car passed it, but it'll take just a few more minutes. We'll close in just a little bit closer, see if we can take that position. Sounds like we might be closing in on another car. To that point of the race now, where's where you're starting to see those flames coming from the tailpipe a little bit more visible. Alright, there's our next car. It is the Porsche. Position currently, as you can see if you're looking on the map, that the car that's currently in the first position is already off the back stretch. So the car that's in the second position is just right up ahead, but that first car is out of there. Alright, coming up on the second place car. It is the GT40, that Ferrari. This car was already fast, and just consider the fact that it has now been fully modified, even with a faster engine, because that car has an engine swap as well. The engine that I put into it is the Enzo, which is another iconic Ferrari, but it's faster. It's also good on gas too. That's the reason why it's all the way up here. Now you'll see the beauty of all those flames just shooting from the muffler. Not just my car, but all the cars in the game. Listen to that engine on that car. Look at that. Now, all these cars are clocking over 200, but some cars just gets there faster. From the looks of it, looks like the race is going to continue at least into the early part of the night. Basically coming into the twilight time right now. We're basically halfway there, 7 laps out of 15. So still a lot of driving to get done. So after this long 15 lap, I'll have to oil change on the car as well. Give it a nice watch. Alright, here on the back stretch, the car in the first position is already finished with the back stretch. Alright, looks like that car is, we are closing in, but gotta keep a car on the track. That's the main part of it. Good braking right there. The speed at which this car is going in, gotta have good brakes. I want to see which one of the cars is up there in the first position. Closing in, should be coming up on that car here pretty soon. Oh, it is the Corvette. It is one of the faster cars in the game. So it doesn't have an engine swap, but with the modification being maxed out, it has a supercharger in it. And if I remember correctly, the horsepower should be over 1,000. look at those flames. Lovely. Listen to that engine right behind me right there. We have another car making a pit stop. Just gotta love those flames. Yeah, listen to that engine. Oh, see the flames? Going around most of these corners over 70 plus miles an hour is absolutely gnarly. He almost run me off the road. Damn. And he's still there. All right, on the back stretch. There he goes, has to make a stop. If he had stopped earlier, on the earlier laps, that car has already had 30% fuel, so it's gonna be out of the pit stop in no time. Alright, one other car just passed it. It's still in there. It's out. I know coming up on this lap, I'm gonna have to make a pit stop as well, for sure. And we're gonna get another full tank and another good change of tires. Another car back there making a pit stop, 5% tank. I love that flames. Looks like we are closing in on another car up front. That will be the first car that I'll be overtaking, or lapping, I should say. But I'm pretty sure it's most likely gonna have to wait until the next lap, because we're gonna have to make a pit stop here coming up soon. Coming up on the last two corners here. That car is already catching up. That is crazy. You're gonna see it coming around that corner soon. There it is. Oh, we'll have to try to close back in on it after we get some fuel and a change of tire. All right, this should be the last fuel change. Both those cars already passed. That is crazy. Come on, pit crew, hurry up and change those tires, fill me up, and let's get going. Alright, tires changed, fill me up. Need another 5 lap out of it. Let's go. Hard working pit crew, by the way. Let's go, still in the 3rd position. Those 2 cars have been passed for going on about a minute now. It's gonna take some driving to catch back up. Went off the track here just a bit, but let's get going. Got the 4th position car stopping in at 1%. 5th position at 7%. So as you can see, all these cars are definitely burning fuel. My task now is to catch back these 2 cars, the 2nd and 1st position. And I take it they should be taking fuel before me. Not that I will have to stop again before the end of the race, because I just filled up to 100%. Nevertheless, we're going to drive to see if we can catch these cars. Got the paint there a little bit, but see if we can get up to this first position. God, I love those flames. By the way, when the car slides like that, it looks so good on the replay. Oh, it looks like we have a crash down here, yellow flags. Whenever you see the guys flashing different color flags from the fence, it is either because you're overtaking a car run off the road or something. And it'll be a different color flag too. Alright, which car is this? Okay, looks like it's the Corvette. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna have to make another stop before I do. And we have the first position car up ahead. Alright, it looks like that car has made a pit stop. And it is the F40. So this car up ahead should be the first overtake. It is the Alfa Romeo. This car sounds so gnarly. It's one of the gnarliest sounding car in the game. Listen to that tearing sound. You see they're flashing a different flag now? Or it's a different color light. That color is for when you overtake it. Nice flames right there. God, I love those flames. And just in case you guys were wondering, in order for you to have this much control over the car, you can't be driving in automatic. The car is going too fast. You're gonna need to be able to have some kind of a control over the compression. So manual transmission is the way to go. That's all I drive. Especially in these high intensity races. See right there, so if you're wondering how is it that I'm keeping the car on the track going at this speed, the manual transmission helps a lot. Look at that car, just right up behind. Look at it. Listen to that engine. gotta be driving pretty good too, because these cars will just run into you and run you off the road. Oh, you're just about to run right into the rear of my car right there. Pretty close race, wouldn't you say? Listen to that engine behind there. That car has a supercharger. Oh, look at it go. Right off the road. Oh, look at it go again. Oh, that is beautiful. Let's see how long it takes to catch back up. Because, you know, these cars, in no time, they could run off the road and they'll be catching back up in no time. And you're like, wait a minute. That's not supposed to happen. Gotta love those flames coming out of the muffler. Alright, we are now coming up on the last 2 laps. Look at it, that car's already coming back. And obviously it's not such a good driver, but the race level is at the highest. That's the reason why these cars are driving so crazy. We have another car making a pit stop as well, 14%. Look at that. That is ridiculous. Look at that car. It's already right there. Crashed and run off the road twice. And look at it. It's already back there. at all the scratches on that car. Gotta love that flame coming from that muffler. Oh, look at it, just crashing into the wall. Scratching all that paint. Gotta love that muffler fire. Coming up on the last 2 corners before we hit that back stretch. Alright, it's making it pit stop. Looks like it's making an early pit stop too. But I mean, it has to make a pit stop just a bit earlier. And it probably won't fill up to the 100. Most likely. So we're gonna have to push. Look at that, it's already filling up. Yep, it's already out at 40%. Look at that. That car is already back there. That is ridiculous. By the way, if you're driving this game, you have the settings all the way up to the expert, the professional level. You will not be able to do that, making a pit stop, crashing off the road multiple times, and catching back up that fast. You're just not going to be able to do that. And I'm not particularly just cruising around the track. This car is being pushed to the limits of every single last horsepower that it has. Coming up on the back stretch here. Alright, we are now officially on the final lap. If you're watching and this looks easy to you, let me just reaffirm that it's not. See how crazy that car is driving back there? Run off the road multiple times, stopped and fill up on fuel, and it's already back there. That is crazy. This car that I'm currently driving is not a slouch. It's been pushed to its full potential. Look at that. That car will run you off the road. Horrible driver. That car paint is all sorts of scratch. Oh, you see they're waving the blue flag. That means we're about to overtake some other cars. That was a WRX Subaru, by the way. Come on, stay on the road. Damn. Coming up on the last two turns here, or the last two corners. Oh, he's off the road. The amount of time that car crashed. And once again, he crashed just on the last corner. If I was supposed to go another lap, I would be taking a pit stop at this point. But we're about to finish up. The driver in that car is the worst driver. Horrible driving and crashes all the time. Waving the flag. Race complete. Man, that was an intense race. Let me know what you guys think of my driving up the track and of the rest of the cars in the game. We're gonna get into the replay here in just a minute so you can get a better look at all the different designs of the car every single car in this race is completely modified. That was an intense race. That biker car right there in the back was driving crazy for at least a couple laps. And then it stopped to make it stopped for a fuel run, and it fell behind. And now, as you can see here, we're getting a better look at the cars, how beautiful they look. By the way, every single car in this particular race is clocking over 200 miles per hour with very little lag. Apart from the aesthetic of my car, the only difference is
in the game from Gran Turismo 1. It's not as popular brand, but it's one of the those are kind of 200 engine, but when you swap it out with the Turismo version of it, makes it to, I think, travel. In terms of performance and sound is absolutely spectacular. Same car. Another GTR Skyline with that same diesel engine swap. Very interesting. right there. It's not even the way it's hanging onto those dollars. He's going on to the alley, but we can keep up, and that's something I've been able to keep up with me as well. Is that I am pushing these cars through the night.
take that out. Oh! They all crashed right there.
the weather time progression reaches to the evening time, you can see the daylight running lights are coming on each of the cars. Small little details. I modified it with a nice white body kit, which it just makes the car look like it's just sitting on the road. Just look at it. Nice and cool. Not to mention the adjuvant is black too. Back stretch here. To be keeping up with my car like that. My car is currently clocking up 230 miles per hour. And it's right there with it. By the way, some of those other cars, oh, that's when the cars start going off in the pit stop. Those two just went. So I was gonna say, most of these cars are clocking more than 230 miles per hour. It's just all dependent upon the driver that's driving it. Gran Turismo, one of the best simulated racing games you'll ever see out there. It's just missing a few things here and there, but for the most part, don't forget it. Best driving game.
cycling through the dashboard cam of each car in the race here in just a few minutes. Just so you guys can get a look at how each car looks on the inside and during the race. As you can see on the dashboard, all the clocks are matching the speed and performance. You can see the ref clock going back and forth. It's just a beautiful look, you gotta love it. We're gonna cycle back to that cars in dashboard in just a few minutes, but just want to take a minute to go through each car just to give you an inside look on the dashboard and what it really looks like with this car moving at the amount of speed that it's moving, going in and out of corner. Now, for each car, it might not be the same amount of time given, but at least I will give each car enough time just to get the live feed of the car going in and out of corners. This is our #1 car. I gotta say, I'm not that into the dashboard of this one. It's all digital. I mean, the others are most of them they are digital too, but I like the analog looking clock rather than just this one. Alright, this is the Alfa Romero. This is one of the cars that has one of the gnarliest sound in the game. Let's give an outside look. Just the way the car sounds, it has a really good tearing and ripping sound that I really like. It's very loud, but it sounds very good. That is the Alfa Romero. All right, we're gonna get back into the dashboard and go through each of the cars, so you guys can get a better look, see how the cars are performing while driving. This is the Toyota Supra, and I don't really like the dashboard that much. I'm more into the analog looking clocks. But that is the Toyota Supra. Alright, here we are up to the WRX Subaru, and I definitely don't like the coloring of this clock. I like the digital clock, but I don't particularly like the red color of the clock and the way it looks. I think one thing I wanted to do is to give an outside look at each car at least. So that is the Toyota Supra. This is the Subaru. I've already taken a look at the dash cam for this one. So we're just gonna move on to the other car. Fully modified. This is, what's the name of this car again? I'll get back to it, but this one looks a lot better. I like the clocks better, and the way the dashboard looks in this. This car has been equipped with an engine swap as well, particularly the Nismo. It's absolutely gnarly. Clocking over 200 miles per hour with very little lag. You can tell from the sound, that's Nismo. Alright. Onto the BMW safety car, which I like the look of this car, especially with the modification that I've given it. Oh, look at those flames coming out of those mufflers. What a lovely look. As you can see, a lot of these newer build cars has the paddle shifter on the steering, so you'll only see the actual gear stick in some of the earlier model of the cars. Especially when it comes to these high performance racing cars, hypercar, and alright, on to the next safety car. This one's the AMG. Nice flames coming from the muffler. Just gotta love it. Nice flames. This is the dash cam. That is a good look. Alright, on to the next car. This is the Ford GT. This car has been highly modified. Engine swap included. Now, I haven't done the 0 to 60 on each car, but all the specs has been documented within the settings area. So for the 0 to 60 or the quarter mile or the half mile, you can see all the specs for each car. This one I know it's very good. Top speed it's over 260 easy. Very little lag. Alright, moving on to the next car. To the Aston Martin. Take a look at that dashboard. You know, I've never really looked at this car's dashboard before. It looks so minuscule in terms of the clock. The writings are small. In most cars you can see it, but in this one you can't see much of the clock. It has beautiful white body. Oh, look at those flames. Gotta love it. On to the next car. That's the TBR. I think that's on the Speed 6. Take a look at the dash. Digital and analog. You know, this car has been out for a very long time. I think the year on it is a 1996 car, if I'm not mistaken. 96, 97. This car has a very good engine swap as well. Alright, next car, this is Porsche. The Porsche. It is a very fast car the way it comes, but it's in my garage, so guess what? It's highly modified and it has an engine swap. Oh, lovely flames right there. So the way this Porsche comes, it's one of the newer cars and one of the newer Porsche. It came already top speed averaging over 200 miles per hour. But what I've done is to even increase the speed and performance even more, with the added fact that it's been engine swapped to perform even at a higher rate. Let's take a look at the dashboard. Alright, this dashboard doesn't look too bad. On to the next car. This one is the Viper. Oh, look at those flames shooting off from the side. This car is one of the beauties. I think this was one of the last Viper that was built. Which up to this day, this car still is a beauty. Look at, especially when modified. Look at it. Just look at it. Lovely car. Let's take a look at the dashboard. Car. This is another one of the GT3. This one has been engine swapped as well. Turbocharged. Ooh, nice flames. That car up ahead, that is the back box. Take a look at the dashboard. Just listen to that whistling. Oh yeah, that's some nice turbocharge right there. Just gotta love it. Listen to it. Whenever I can modify a car with having that sound or anything similar to this sound, which are mainly turbocharged cars, that's something that I always want to implement because I love the sound of it. Lovely sound in that car. Let's move up to that back car as it goes. Digital, of course, the expected. Go to the other car. This is the GTO twin turbo MR version, and the year on this car is 92. Looks like that back is going for a pit stop. This car has also been engine swapped as well. Dashboard. I also don't like the color that they put on the lighting of the dashboard on this one, so that's something that I would definitely change. Right, next car. The GT40 kind of battling with the Chevrolet. call it dashboard in this one. Also, this dashboard is just small. That is GT40, guys. Very fast car. We're gonna just click back to the car that's behind it. See, now it did an overtake just as soon as we switched to it. So we're gonna take a look at the car behind it. It's the car that very fast car, both of them. Digital. Okay, I think we took a look at that earlier. All right. Back to the car here. Now this right here is the second pit stop. A lot of hard working crew. Gotta love it. Got those nice white tires. Very hard working crew right there. Pulling back up that fuel to 100%. The laps at the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and they're off.